Welcome to Two Gents, where two seasoned gents take on the hard truths of life, success, and responsibility. In a world where the rules don't bend for us, these gents believe in doing the work, owning the struggle, and inspiring others to take action. So, pull up a chair.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Two Gents Podcast. I'm part of the people that host the show. I haven't heard from Byron Glass, but he's probably out there doing something as always. You know, we do this thing voluntarily. And, you know, Pastor Riggins called in. He said, Ron, I'm going to be a little bit late. You're going to have to hold it down. But one of the things that he told me, he said, Ron, this gerrymandering is no joke. I said, you know what, Pastor, you're absolutely right. This gerrymandering is no joke. And I'm sitting here like a one-man band because I'm trying to do all this stuff behind the scenes. But I'm gonna get with the show because it's so important that we kind of digest everything that's going on. I just got to tell you, I'm a little overjoyed today. I got a chance to spend some time with my people. In case y'all don't know, my brother and my sister-in-law is in town for a little while. They celebrating their 25th anniversary. And you know what? I was glad to share it with them. And anybody that's around the Houston area knows that Papa Do's, I should be in there asleep somewhere. Because I ate. Papa Do's is just one of those restaurants that you can keep on ordering. I think my little brother would set up a cot in the back room back there, as long as they keep bringing out food. But with that being said, I know it's a lot we got to get to, and sometimes you just gotta go different places before you get so serious and involved into what we talk about on a daily basis. Because it seems like the more that we do, the more that people forget. And I was riding in the truck with my brother today. And as I rode in the truck with my brother, my other brother and his wife and sister-in-law was sitting in the back. Oh, positively D, my girl. She said, happy anniversary, Jerry. Hey, D, he's from your area, California, IA. That's where he's from. He married a California girl and he's down there in California. So he came down. His wife surprised him with a trip to Texas. What can I say? It's just one of those things. But here's where I want to go. D, I'm glad you're out there because here's where I want to go before I get into this gerrymandering deal. And I was riding in the truck and I was thinking about something that my brother and me were discussing. Yeah, of course. I was thinking about something that me and my brother was discussing. We sit down at the table and we had a round table, and we were sitting there and we were talking. As we talked about different things. I'm gonna get more into it about what we talked about when I get further along in the show. But he made some pretty good points about politics. And I know most of us don't discuss our politics and stuff. We don't usually discuss politics, but we threw some stuff out there, and believe it or not, we was closer than what we thought we was gonna be. And I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna let it go a little bit. I want y'all to marinate on that. We was closer than what I thought we was gonna be, because at one time I was here. Let me put my hand on. I was here, and he was here, and we couldn't get close enough to just understand each other. But to get to one of the points that I wanted to make as I was riding in the truck, I realized something. That us, D, myself, my brothers, and people that's in the same generation, Byron Glass, Pastor A.F. Riggins, you know, we always point to someone else, and we continue to point to somebody else, but we're the ones that's got to solve some of these problems. We're the ones that's got to take on their responsibilities. While you out there pointing that finger, you need to realize that the people that you used to look up to were about your age right now. Think about it. And the ones that's not about your age right now, I mean, think about they Biden, they're Biden's age. They're I'm gonna call Trump's name. Yeah, they Trump's name. They Trump's age. The Reverend Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson, all of them are up in age. We got to find somebody that's our age, or somebody within our where we're at has to step up. Because if we keep on saying that somebody else is gonna do it, and I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm gonna step on some feet. I don't think it's another younger generation out there that's gonna take on that responsibility. To me, they just don't have it. And let me put some pointers on that. They're good at making speeches. They're good at taking care of themselves. But as a whole, they're not that great. They're really not that great. They can identify, they can make points, and they can do those one-liners. They can make them feel good speeches. As we always say, they can make them feel good speeches, and they can get your attention. But getting your attention through a feel-good speech, that's only as long as that speech lasts. And as long as they continue to run it out there, it's gonna resonate with you every time you hear it. But what does that do? In the long term, what does that do? And this gerrymandering the maps is something that we really need to look into. We need to dig into, because I think that we just believe that this just happened. This didn't just happen. This has been out there, and people say, "Oh no, the Republicans are just doing this right now, and they trying to change the narrative. They trying to run you away from politics." I'm gonna tell you, it's something that everybody needs to look into. I just can't go any further without Pastor Regan's not here and Glass not here yet, so I'm trying to get some time, but my time I want to use wisely, because as we get in this, I need you to understand something. This young man made a point last night, and I'm gonna tell you, he's my younger brother. Again, he made a point last night, and I agree with him. I think that's the reason why me and Glass come on here. And I remember the caller that called in last week, and what he said was, "You sure getting on the Democratic Party, and you just letting the Republican Party go." No, what we try to do is we try to hold the Democratic Party accountable for their inactions, because they're really not doing anything. And the ones that's out there, they have an agenda. And I didn't. Let me tell you, I'm not the smartest person in the world, so I do conversate with people. I listen and I digest and I go back, and like we always do with you guys, we tell y'all to go out and do your own research. We'll put it out there, but you have to go out and do your own research. He said something last night that just blew me away. And I told y'all how far we was apart. He said, "Now I'm gonna tell you," he said, "we have to save the Democratic Party." And he said it with a straight face. I mean, he looked me straight in my face and he said, we have to save the Democratic Party. But he put something else on there after that. He said, we have to save the Democratic Party, but we might not be able to save the current party. You know why? The current party members, let me just, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but the reason why he said that you might not be able to save the current members, and as he said it, and I want you to digest it before you just start running me up the flagpole. But this is what I need you to do, and I had to do it too. If we go with the current settings that's out there for the Democratic Party, we're going to lose. we're going to lose. We're losing at every angle that's out there. We both know that. But if we don't try to save the Democratic Party, we are doomed. But we can't save everybody. And I'm trying not to get I'm trying not to get there, Jerry, but I'm gonna have to go there. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna have to go there. If y'all don't know it, this thing is it's a game of people making money. Political people making money off of you. And he made a statement that some people might not like. They've been using us for years to go through their process to make money and to have power. But most of all, they put money in their pockets at our expense. And here's what I'll tell you. And I want you to hear me because I thought about it and I wasn't going to bring it up, but I'm going to say it before I get into this. And then I'm going to go straight into this gerrymandering map because I text Glass and I text Pastor Riggins and I told him, I said, you know what? We need to go back over this one more time because if we don't go over it, people may not understand how important it is of what's going on just in Texas right now. Because Texas is the beginning of a snowball. And all right, let's go here. If those politicians that we have in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, if their money is being messed up, you know, they don't have the same thing. We always talk about Nancy Pelosi voting on stocks. We always talk about people that's able to vote in, to get in stocks at the right time and how they get out of them and they don't lose no money and they go through the whole process. Well, I'm telling you, both sides do that. And that money starts to circulating. Right now, you may think that they mad at you. You may think that they mad at you and they trying to get you to come on their side and they what they mad at and this is the thing that you need to hear because he looked at me just like I'm looking at you. I want to get a little bit closer. He say, Ronnie, that's my family name, Ronnie. They not mad at you. The reason why they mad is because Trump is messing up their money. See, when you can play the political game and you can go down there and you can basically tell people that they've been doing it for years and years and years and they profit from it. And they profit from it. They're not they're not concerned about you or me or anybody else. What they're mad about what Trump is doing is he's messing up their money as they go into these smaller government agencies, government places and everything else. They're messing up their trickle down dollars that they get that they was putting in their pockets. And that's on both sides. I told you I'm gonna make some people mad. But I want you to think about what was just said because that's something that's important. It ain't that they mad at Trump. What they mad at is that they don't have that residual income that's coming in. Think about people that's been in Congress for a long time, even too a long time for Congress. I'll say 2 years because that's where that's where their money start to come. That's where their money start to come. That's where they go. You didn't heard me say it. Where they go from not being able to pay their light bills to pay their voters' office, whatever they call that, the campaign headquarters bills, and the electric company running after them, and the water company running after them. They can't pay them. But by that second year, what are they? They're millionaires. So if you think they're mad at Trump for what's going on, they're not really mad at Trump. They're mad because they're not able to get their dollars. His own party is mad at him. And it may not be what's out there in the public's eye, but they mad at him because their money is messed up. You won't hear nobody else talking about this. And we dialogued about this over a kitchen table. And I looked at him, and he said, and at first I couldn't understand it, but when I finally caught up to what he was saying, I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because if they're taking away their money and he's disrupting their system that has been in place, I don't care what your name is. If you used to getting this amount of money and we catching them corrupt all the time with this new internet and everything that's out there, we catching them with their hands in the pie. But I digress. We're going to talk about that. We're not able to talk about it. Pastor Riggins and Byron Glass has not got here yet, but I hope they're on their way, because I need you to look at something. And I want you to kind of judge it for yourself, because I need you to look at something. I need you to just kind of judge it for yourself and tell me if I'm right. This is the 18th district. And I had to take this one because this is the proposed 18th district. I want you to look at it. Everything is over here on the east side. You see that brown? That's the 18th congressional district. The new proposed 18th congressional district. Now, you remember I told you that this is not the first time that we've been down this road. We haven't even got to the part where the Congress and where the Democrats have walked out of the House because they don't want it to come to a full quorum to hold a vote. We haven't got to that part. But this is the proposed 18th district. They took everything and moved it to the east. I wish Pastor Riggins was here because he could kind of break it down for you. But if you look at this map, I think this represents the first loop around there is 610. So they came down the east side of town and they brought it all the way down through South Park and looked like South Park and a couple other areas out to Sunnyside. And that's the way it's split up. But what it did was in the middle area up there in the middle of town, there's a lot of Hispanics in this area. But the real reason why I'm showing you the aftermath first, because I want you to look at the aftermath before you look at the before map. And I'm trying to get it to the stage just a minute. This is the before map. The brown, this tannish area here still represents the 18th congressional district in Houston. Do you notice something that's different? It takes in, it comes down, then it gets the majority black area right here, Midtown and Third Ward. It goes all the way, look like it's all the way up to on the outside. I think that's the Beltway right here, because I think it goes all the way up to that area. But here's where it makes the thing that gets me. It somehow runs across the town, runs across Houston, and it comes out here and it gets all the Acres homes in this area. I think it's this area. All the Acres homes, and it continues to go out. And then it comes back and it meanders to your right again. But that's the way it was drawn from the before. In case you want to pay attention to what I'm saying and want to follow just a little bit, that's the aftermath, right? That's the before map. And you see what 18th congressional district is. Now, this is a proposed map. But I want to tell you, for me to do this map and show you, I need somebody else to come up to the stage and to show you. This lady, the Honorable Sheila Jackson Lee, is gone. But I want you to hear what she's talking about at this time when she was here?
Obviously, all bets are off. This is a Republican plan, and already many lawsuits have been filed. I am glad that, along with my colleague, Congressman Al Green, we stayed united to ensure that the constituents that we represented would be first and foremost in our mind. We were not looking to partisanship or politics. We're focused on representation. Mm-hmm. And so we went to both the state Senate and the House to speak articulately and firmly to ensure that the constituents were well represented and that they had an opportunity to choose a person of their choice, and also to reflect on the court decisions that said the 9th Congressional District and the historic 18th Congressional District, which I hold, the Barbara Jordan District, was in fact a protected district so that voters who had been deprived before could be able to vote. Now, with those lawsuits and many others being filed, we're still in jeopardy as relates to what the next steps will be. We hope that what will happen is that more people will be able to be represented, including the increased population of people of color and Latinos, Hispanics obviously need to be represented more, and we look forward to that alongside of representing many other vulnerable communities.
The real reason why I let that play so long and not cut it off is because that's the same thing that's going on right now. When they redistrict, when they had Barbara Jordan district up there, it was a little different than the map that's up there right now. So the 18th congressional district, the Democrats have dealt with this map because you need to understand this map right here, this area that's coming from between where 29 is, and I can't see the other number out there, but where District 29 goes all the way into District 18, but it splits up portion of it. The 18th congressional district, there go 18 at the top. If you could follow that around with your eyes, tell me how many ins and outs that make. That was Sheila Jackson Lee's district. And that's important to this conversation that we're about to have about gerrymandering of maps. Not only are we having this conversation, but, as you look at that, you say, well, what's the problem? Well, that's Sheila Jackson Lee. Here's the commissioner. I think she's a commissioner out of Dallas. I want you to listen to what she's saying.
A Republican county judge, DA, sheriff, all of them. I am here to urge the members of the Texas legislature to say no to racism and the racially discriminatory redraw of congressional maps. What you've done is planned and calculated a racist attack on the fundamental voting rights of people of color. I should know. MAGA County Judge Tim O'Hare used a racist law firm and a racist map drawer to attack, pack, and crack African American and Hispanic neighborhoods here, just like you are trying to do to our congressional maps. With the mid-decade redistricting of Tarrant County Commissioners' precincts, the Republicans came for me and my seat just last month. On June 3rd, my constituents lost their representation due to intentional racial gerrymandered MAGA politics. And what happened when my colleagues voted to redistrict?
Let me tell you what she's doing. She's testifying at the hearing about the redistricting. And she's up in Tarrant, I think it's Tarrant County out of Dallas. And what she just went through, they did this, and this is the reason why this is important. Because you do it on the national level. You have Trump on the national level coming to tell the states that he needs X amount of seats. And then it falls down to the state level, where the state level, then guess what happens? What happens on the national level to a state level, to a county level, falls down to where it's at right now. Eventually, the cities are going to start doing the same thing. Everything is going to start changing. But if we keep doing these moves on both sides, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. But again, I want you to finish listening to her, and then we're gonna actually go into it. I see Pastor Riggins out there. I'm gonna bring him to the stage. But I see Pastor Riggins is out there. Pastor, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I'm glad you can hear me because I got into it. I hadn't got into I didn't want to get into the part about the congressmen until you came in, but I haven't even gotten into the PowerPoint presentation because I was talking about some other stuff. But I want to finish up hearing this later from this commissioner from Tarrant County to try to end this part right here. It's not too much longer, but I want to let it play because I think before we go any further, and I get you into the show and let you introduce yourself and tell who you are, I want to let her finish up, and then we can go into the actual meat of the program, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
When they voted to go after my precinct 2 seat, a damn lawsuit. So hopefully you all are prepared for that. They redrew our lines not because the population shifted, not because our communities changed, but because they wanted to silence our voices. Like you, Texas legislative Republicans, my MAGA colleagues wanted more power than they already have. Tarrant County has been in existence since 1849 and has always been Republican-led. What more do you want? They didn't give a damn who they had to disenfranchise to do it. Is my time up?
Please complete. Yeah, I'll let you complete your sentence.
All right. That wasn't fair. That wasn't democratic. It was designed to rig the game before the whistle even blew. And now Texas Republican leadership is behind closed doors, haven't seen a map or a redistricting proposal from you guys doing the same thing. But we are here today to say no to racism and racially discriminatorily redrawing of congressional maps. Thank you all.
Members.
Okay, that was her. I just needed y'all to hear that because as we always discuss in this gerrymandering thing, I had told Pastor Riggins that I asked Pastor Riggins and Byron Glass, could we go back into this? I really don't want to get into PowerPoint presentation because I haven't gave Pastor Riggins a chance to introduce himself and probably say a few things about what we're talking about tonight. So Pastor, it's on you. I know you told me you was going to be late, but I just wanted to let you come in and introduce yourself and let's go from there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I had a couple of appointments today and made me run late. And then for those of you who say, why you having the shades? I got an eye infection, so I have the shades on, but even the blind man could see.
Say it.
It's wrong. Even a blind man could see gerrymandering is wrong. If that was the case, here's the deal. The Democrats in Texas, which you probably already covered, have taken a stand to keep the quorum in the House.
Pastor, explain Pastor, before you go any further, because I think most of our listeners need to understand what a quorum is, because it's the reason most of them say, well, why are they leaving? Why are they leaving? Where are they going? Why did they choose the places that they went to? And the full reason behind that. Could you explain that to them where they could get a better understanding?
I will. I know. I'm trying to. Since you asked me, I'm gonna get the number for the quorum.
Okay. And while you're doing that, I just want to say, because we're in this show to educate you, but most of all, we're not trying to make the decision for you. And if we put some information out there, we want you to be able to go out and research and get your own thoughts, your own thought pattern, and let you figure it out for yourself. But sometimes in this world, and Pastor, one of the things I'm gonna engage you for a minute while you're doing. You don't have to talk, but Pastor, I was riding in the car and I was telling them I'm not gonna go all the way into details, but we're the ones if we want everything to change, we're the ones that's gonna have to change it. Not we can't depend on people to change anything, because we're that generation. We're sitting here right now with the ability to engage with people and try to get them to go a direction, and we have to stop depending on everybody else. And we have when we're on this airways and we're talking to people and we're engaging with people, we have to put that information out because it's on us.
Okay.
You can't. Jesse Jackson is in a wheelchair. Reverend Al Sharpton is getting up in age. Those people that we depended on, It's in our hands now.
Yes, yes. So a quorum is what you need to have a legal vote if you have a meeting. For instance, if you have bylaws or any type of governing document that leads your meeting, it'll tell you what a quorum is. For instance, if you have 7 people sitting on the board, then you need at least 5 people there for a quorum for you can conduct some business. You can't have 2 or 3 people come together and say, oh, we're going to vote on this board and make it happen when most of the people are in there to make it happen. Some organizations have that you have to have 90% or maybe 3/4. In Texas, you need 2/3 of the governing body to be present. 2/3 in the House, 2/3 in the Senate. And because the Senate number is set, it needs at least 21 senators. Now the House number shifts because population shifts. But you need 2/3 of all the members of the House of Representatives in Texas present to have a vote on anything. So when the Democrats flee, and if most of it is like half and half, or maybe 60-40 Republicans versus Democrats, or 55% Republican and 45% Democrats, when the Democrats leave, they can't get the 2/3 vote. And so all business stops. All business stops.
Mm-hmm.
No votes on anything. Now, here's the catch-all. You pay a cost for that. You get fined $500 a day. So I don't know how much they're paying them, but you get fined $500 a day. This happened a couple of years ago when they was trying to keep something else from getting passed, and it went on, and it shut down. They shut down the whole special session. Came back the second special session, and only got it passed, but they was able to make a stand. What the Democrats in Texas right now do is buying time, and also showing their what's the word I'm looking for? That they're not afraid, their courage. Because if they wait out the whole special session with the quorum not being there, and Governor Abbott calls another special session, most likely it'll finally get passed. But here's what they're doing. By them fighting this way, so then those blue states, see, remember, Texas is considered a red state, almost purple. What do you mean by almost purple? We almost have it where some of that we almost have as many Democrats as Republicans voting, but because of all these type of little tricks that Governor Abbott and Ken Paxton and Dan Patrick and all of them been playing over the years, they're trying to keep Texas from turning blue. So in the blue states, Illinois, New York, California, what are blue states? These are the states that usually vote Democratic ways.
Mm-hmm.
They're now, New Jersey, they're now looking that if Texas is going to fight the redistricting in Texas, that gives them time to draw up that if Governor Abbott want to do it in Texas, guess what? They're going to start calling their special legislations and redistricting in Chicago, in Illinois, redistricting in New York, redistricting in California, redistricting in New Jersey, so they can offset whatever 5 seats that Trump's trying to get out of Texas. Because Donald Trump knows that if he loses the House, and then they say the Senate's even in play now because of a lot of things he's done. If he loses Congress in 2026, his presidency is over and maybe in jeopardy of legal issues. So he's trying to stack the cards by literally asking governors to racially gerrymander districts. And let me tell you something else. Just because it gets gerrymandered doesn't mean that a Republican might win it. But it gives a higher percentage level that a Republican might win it.
And it also dilutes the incumbent that's in seat.
Right, and try to remove the incumbent because he's trying to get Jasmine Crockett out. He's trying to get Al Green out. He doesn't want anybody in Sheila Jackson Lee's seat. That's who Trump is going after. He's going after personalities and people he figure that's, so, and then at the same time, hoping to get the 5 seats out of Texas to try to keep the House, because the House is only about 9. Well, how many seats is it that Republicans hold? They hold about 9 seats more than Democrats right now.
Mm-hmm.
That could easily be flipped. So that's what the gerrymandering is all about. So the people in Texas, the Democrats in Texas, have fled the state, so they will not be present to vote. Now, let's do some other situations with this. Ken Paxton, who we know doesn't shoot straight as Attorney General of Texas, has now put arrest warrants out.
Same thing they did before.
Right.
But Pastor, I want to make some emphasis on the point. Just kind of hold your thought for just a minute. Now I want to tell y'all. Now, when I was talking earlier about money, see, congressional members get paid more than state congressional. It's down. The pay comes down. Mm-hmm. But here's the deal: $500 may be a lot to them, because they're volunteering a lot of their times, and most of them still have regular jobs because they only go to the state every so often. Mm-hmm. So that fine that they're putting on them, it's gonna get to a point where they're gonna come back. They did it on the last thing. They did it last time, but they're making a point, and that's the thing that we always say. We want them to do something that makes sense. And that's what Pastor Riggins is trying to share with you. I hope I didn't get you too far lost, Pastor.
Oh, no, man. No.
Okay.
So Ken Paxton also put like you say, the arrest warrants out. He did that last time. That's all a bunch of bluff and bullying. You can't really, who gonna go over there? First of all, you got to get to the other state, and the other state has to do what? You know, what is it called when you bring somebody back from another state?
I know what it's called, but here's the deal. They got smarter this time. They went to the states where they couldn't, extradite. Yeah, extradite them from.
You're right.
They couldn't they don't have no meat on the bone in the states that they decided to go to this time.
Right. They went to these states where you can't be extradited back.
Yeah.
They thought through. They played chess, they didn't play checkers.
Absolutely. That's what we always tell them. They're not playing chess while the Republicans playing chess, Democrats playing checkers. So I have to say they learned from last time.
Now they're playing chess. Now, here's another thing. So then Ken Paxton says he's going to declare, or try to see if we can get a ruling to declare that the seats are vacated. And
you knew that was coming.
Huh? So the seats are vacated. Then he's going to try to say, well, the quorum changes. But you got to remember, a lot of these state representatives are lawyers themselves.
Yep.
Or know about the law, and they all lawyered it up. They got legal representation themselves. As soon as he tries that, some of their lawyers is going to sue. See, this. We're watching how the sausage is being made, not in the kitchen, but made right in front. In the restaurant's front floor, right there where the nice people sit, and they valet park and have you by the window. We're seeing all the mess made right in front of us. This is how politics works. It's either going to be a lot of back room willing and dealing, or it's going to be a lot of blood on the floor. When I say blood, I don't mean nothing violence.
Yeah.
A lot of messy looking stuff. But let me tell you, before the Civil War, there was blood on the floor. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Before the Civil War, that one guy went inside that Congress, a senator, and and beat the man almost to death. Over the Civil War. Before the Civil War, they had that bloody Kansas. They're going out shooting each other about. Yeah. So when I say this, I say it in tongue in cheek now, but back in the day, matter of fact, Alexander Hamilton, and who was another guy, had a duel one time, shot somebody to death over this kind of stuff. Now, we're not doing it. We're not saying all it's going to happen now. But we're saying, it can get real messy before it get better. Because you got to make a stand somewhere. How can Donald Trump, now let's rewind all the way back to the back. Donald Trump, who's not worrying about governing anything for anybody. Matter of fact, they say the labor statistics says, listen, you only added 730 jobs. oh, we don't like what you're saying, fire you. You can't fire the messenger.
Yeah.
He did, though.
Mm-hmm.
The truth still is on the added 700 some jobs. So he's going to hire somebody going to lie for you?
Yes, sir.
See, so he's not even trying to do anything right, but he looks around and says, wait a minute, how do I protect my backside? I can't lose that 2026 election, the midterms. So let me go to the states that I like. Well, Texas is the biggest. You know, you got California, you got New York, and then you got Texas, third biggest state of delivering congressmen. Let me flip 5 of them seats. See what I can do.
Yeah.
And that's
that was one of the things that he put out there, Pastor.
And Abbott, a wannabe. See, another thing about living in Texas, people, whatever Trump does really doesn't hurt Texans a lot, because whatever Trump does, Abbott is already doing.
Yeah. But I'm glad you made that point, because I want to tie something back into what you're saying, because while you're drinking your water, I want them to understand something. They didn't just move Epstein's girlfriend here just because she was getting a lighter sentence. They moved her here. But one of the reasons why they moved her here is because Abbott ain't gonna move. Yeah. Where they was, it was a possibility that they could change, but he knows that Abbott is gonna act in his favor all the way through. And Pastor Regan's just made that point. So I know this is about gerrymandering the maps, but it's all relative to what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. See, let me tell you what. For instance, Trump says, I'm holding back all the money the federal government has for special services program and English language learners. He held back the money, like $6, right? States like Pennsylvania, Illinois, Michigan, all of them were suffering. Abbott knew he was doing that, right? So Abbott had a bill passed in Texas to take care of all that. He had money put in there to take care of the Texan people, that's special services, ELL, so we don't have to depend on the federal government, because Trump holding the money back from the Democrats. He had the money back, and guess what happened last week?
What's that, Pastor?
Pennsylvania and the rest of them had sued Trump. On a Friday night, they released all the money to the Democrats when nobody found out on the news real loud. He released the money last week. Held it up for like 3 or 4 or 5 months. Everybody on the edge of their seats. We ain't going to start a new school year. We can't get our money in Pennsylvania. We can't get our money in Michigan, because these are Democratic-run states, and so they're depending on those federal funds. Abbott was like, we don't need it, because when Biden tries to send money down here, we don't want it. Obama tries to send money down here, we don't want it. Trump said we're going to hold back money. Don't worry about it, Trump. You have to hold back the money, because I'm going to pass money in our state to take care of our people. Go ahead and hold back the money for everybody else. Then Trump silently let them have their money.
Absolutely.
That's everything that he does against Democratic states, like even this Medicaid stuff and all this, the reason why they try to put it off to 2027, because they're hoping that it won't have no effect until after the midterm elections. And then quietly, they got some kind of wraparound somewhere in Texas where Texas is going to be passing money so they can subsidize whatever federal funds not there for the Texans. So the Abbott and them don't feel, the Republicans in Texas don't feel the brunt of people not getting their Medicaid and all that. See what I'm saying? There's always a game being played to hurt Democratic states and the Republican states if they can try to find a way. But like Louisiana, Mississippi, they don't have that kind of money. No, sir.
Yeah,
they're gonna hurt. Them Republicans gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt the smaller areas, because they depend on Medicaid and Medicare at those hospitals to keep them open. And those guys and those people that's in those smaller areas, the ones that voted against their own, you're gonna figure it out. You may not figure it out during midterms, but you're gonna figure it out after midterms that you basically voted yourself out. And that's one of the things that reason why we keep on coming on this show and we keep doing this is because we need to help you understand a little bit about politics. And Pastor, before you got on the air, I need you to know something that I said, and then we're gonna go into this thing. And if you have any questions about what I said, I had a conversation with my brother, and we were sitting at the table, and he's from California, and normally we so far apart in politics, But this time he said something that just kind of floored me. And I want to get your comment on it.
Mhm.
He said that we're going to have to save the Democratic Party. We're going to have to save the Democratic Party because if we don't, he said, but we can't save the current Democratic Party, the people that's in place right now, because they're trying to get the system back in place where it was business as usual. In other words, that stuff where they just put a candidate out in front and say, hey, you vote for this one, instead of letting the people pick out who they wanted. That type of thing. The other thing that he covered, and it kind of made me think. It put a thought in my mind. He said, this thing is about money, and say those people that's in place, they not necessarily the people that's in place that's been in place. They're not necessarily mad at the system as it is. They're mad because the system has been disrupted. Their money flow has canceled, and they want to try to get it back. But what we have to do in order to save the Democratic Party, we have to make the Democratic Party honest again.
Yes.
So I know I just did a little bit of dialogue, but I want to get your opinion on what I just said. If you need time and we need to go into the next show, I'm fine with that. I'm ready to go into doing the Texas redistricting.
No, here's the. This is why I became independent.
Mm-hmm.
In 2008, they tried to put who they want in front of us. They wanted Hillary Clinton in front of us. Remember, the Democratic Party has all these super PACs and these super, and the super those delegates, super delegates, like the delegates who votes count 10, 20 times more than a regular delegate. And they're trying to stack all the super delegates against Barack Obama. And wouldn't, when he was winning the states, they wouldn't let him get his delegates. They were trying to still split between him and Hillary Clinton, trying to hold him back. I jumped out of the party then. Because I knew then that they were worried about one thing, money.
Yep.
And Barack Obama defied the odds. That's what made him a great president. He defied the odds running for president. Let me say it again. What made Barack Obama a great president is he defied the odds running for president. His daddy from Kenya, his mama from Kansas, both of them, was his daddy dead then yet or not? I know his mama was. I think both of them were dead because grandmother died right before the election. Black man, big ears like mine, running for president from the grassroots. And they defied the odds. Ever since he ran and won is why we have today. Because 2011, Donald J. Trump started the birth of mess. This man is not American. His name is Barack Hussein Obama, born in Kenya. And when that didn't fly, he then said, I'm going to run to make America great again. Translation, white folk going to take over again. I'm not racist, but that came from KKK, you see. His daddy was a KKK in March 1927. Let me keep on about Democrats. Bernie Sanders, if we had let Bernie Sanders be who he's supposed to be, at some point he would have ran. He had all the crowds. Why didn't he have in 2020? Why didn't Bernie Sanders come out instead of Biden? See, that's when Bernie Sanders should have won instead of Biden. Why didn't he? Because they wanted to put somebody in front of us, Biden, instead of letting the flow of the natural flow of the grassroots of the Democratic Party was in Bernie Sanders. See what I'm saying? Then,
I'm with you.
Keep going. Biden lied. I'm going to say it again. Biden did a lot of great things, but Biden lied. That's what I say. Politics is dirty. And he lied this way. He said, I'm running to save the soul of the nation. I won't run again. When he decided to run again, that put us in a bind because his mental capacity was gone, his physical capacity was gone, everything. And it showed up on that stage that night. He flew back in the country where he came from. And it all showed up right in front of Trump. Trump, most unprepared, most incompetent person in the world. Biden been in politics since 1976. Couldn't stand up against Trump because he was sick. And now we had to be forced to put somebody in front of us, and it was Kamala Harris. When if you'd let the process be in 2022 where he didn't run, we would have had our choice between Joshua Shapiro, the guy out of Minnesota, maybe the guy out of Arizona, and Kamala Harris, a couple other people. We'd had a natural process. The Democratic Party is its own worst enemy. Your brother is right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Joshua Shapiro, and a couple other young guns. Somebody like Van. See, Van, the guy Van that used to be with Obama.
Yeah.
Those kind of people are the ones who ought to be the guy out of South Carolina. I can't think of his name right now.
I know who you're talking about, the governor.
Yeah,
I think he's the governor.
No. Is he the governor now, the black guy?
I think he's the governor. I'm not for sure, but Google it right quick. I agree with you. I call them motivational speakers, and that's it. It sounds good, but but what work are they really putting in? And that's the thing that we try to people. And last week I got, Pastor, you know what their callers say last week. Why are we so hard on the Democratic Party? Because we need them to get. I'm gonna say it, Pastor. I'm gonna say it like I want to say it. We need them to get there
together.
Before the midterm elections roll around.
That's another S word you want to use. We need to get that stuff together.
Yeah, but out of respect for you, I'm not using it. Yeah. But we need for them to get their stuff together. We need a two-party system. I 100% agree with them. But if we continue to allow them to go down this road of gerrymandering and what's going on in Texas, I guarantee you, Texas ain't gonna be the only state. Now I guarantee, and here's the other thing: it's more red states out there than it is blue states. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah. Jabari Sellers.
Okay.
Jabari Sellers. He's one of the big political movers and shakers. Stacey Abrams. See, in Georgia, Stacey Abrams. See, all them kind of people need to be out there running the Democratic Party.
But they won't put those types of people in place.
Van Johnson, Jabari Sellers, Stacey Abrams, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, even Bernie Sanders. Even though he got the mind, he moved like the young folk move, radical. That's who need to be running this stuff, not the ones who've been bought already.
Yeah, and that's and Pastor, that's if you think about everything that's going on, and this is what gets me. And when I had that conversation, I almost got mad. Because he was telling some truth. It's about their money. Yeah. It's about their money being messed up. They don't care about Trump. They really don't care about their voters. Their money is not flowing the way it used to.
Let me tell you something.
If their money was flowing the same way, they would have a different perspective on what's going on. And that's the reason why we're in a position where we're at. That's the reason why we allowed certain Democrats, I say some, not all, but certain Democratic leaders to be in charge because their money was right. Now that their money is not right, they complaining, but I can't follow them. I can't follow them. Go ahead.
On the flip side, that's why we have Trump too on the Republican side. It's not that they scared of Trump. They getting money flow because of Trump. Whatever backdoor deals, whatever behind the scenes stuff that's going on, and the Heritage Foundation, organizations out of Saudi Arabia, Middle East, even China. Don't let Trump fool you. What he putting on the front about all them tariffs, backdoors, a lot of stuff going on. Republicans get money from everywhere because of Trump. They're not scared of Trump. They don't want their money flow to stop.
Here's another one. You're right, but let me take this another step further. I want to say it where I can make the point and you can understand it. Colleges benefit and get money.
Mm-hmm.
Colleges benefit and get money from the government.
Mm-hmm.
Their money is being cut. I'm not talking about HBCU's money being cut out. I'm talking about those Harvards, Ivy League, Rice University that was getting all those big grants and everything. That money is gone. Now, what could a HBCU do with about $25 million grant a year, or $50 million in a year?
Mm-hmm.
Now I know what most of y'all gonna say. They somehow it'll disappear. One person, but really, just think about if they was getting the same type of money at those other universities, and they're complaining about what's going on, how the government is distributing money. I got a PowerPoint presentation we haven't even got to. So I'm just telling you, it's a lot of stuff involved in this gerrymandering of maps that both parties are guilty of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here and D, you're right. And they have a society taking sides and arguing and shaking. I'm just shaking my head. I understand, but we don't see. They don't want us to get smarter. Where we looking at the stuff. And I said it, I think I said it last week, or I said it to somebody. I think I said it to my brother. They're saying, look here, look here, look here. We don't want you to look not there, but look here, look here. We want you to keep focusing on Jeffrey Epstein while we destroy this country and we make those moves behind your back. But hey, you ain't gonna have a choice. The Democratic Party needs to get it back. And if it takes them staying out of that quorum to make a quorum, it ain't no use of me bringing up a PowerPoint presentation about gerrymandering maps. We can talk about what they are doing. We need to stay focused, Pastor.
Yeah. But I like the fact that the Texas Democrats decided to put some skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we need national Democrats to put the skin in the game. That's what I hear you saying. We need them to not only come down here and make speeches. I mean, don't caller from last week. He came down here. He stood up in front of the state Congress, and he made speeches at the little meeting that they had, and he did that. That's the first time I've seen somebody come from a national level and decide to get involved in this. But they know how important this is. They know how important this is. And this is something that they can hang their hat on. More than everybody should have came down from Washington or different states, because if you don't do it here, it's coming to you. And by the time it gets to you, it's packaged. Have you ever, Pastor, we said it earlier, you practice. They didn't get it right the first time they left. They went to states that had the ability to extradite them back to the states. Some of them did. Some of them came back when they realized that. They put the fine on. But this particular time is the time that everybody needs to get behind what's going on. Pastor, we said this also. When Al Green got up in that, put up that cane, and they went to escort him out, every Democrat in that house should have got up and followed him out. Right, they should have already had a plan.
But wouldn't it have broke what's the word?
It broke quorum. They should already had a plan for that.
Yeah.
She said, you want to get up and shout, we'll let you shout. But when you get up and shout, we're all walking out. That's craziness that they didn't do that. So I'm all in or nothing. That's how I roll. I'm all in or nothing. If we're not going all in, I don't want to touch it. But if we're gonna go all in, we're going all in.
And Pastor Riggins, I'm not gonna do another show without saying this. And I know Byron Glass is not here to say it. If we don't get involved and we don't stand up and we don't do anything that makes sense, the midterm elections, we might as well just write off. It's over after then. We ain't gonna never get to a point where we can have debates or discussions about anything, even this type of format, even larger formats, because even when they discuss things that the president don't like or the Republican Party, they come off the air.
Let me tell you what, NPR and PBS been shut down.
Oh yeah, it's on its way.
They've been shut down already.
TSU. This is what got me here, Pastor. TSU, local thing. I'm trying to identify and I'm trying to prepare you for what's going on and what's happening. They're having to fund their own radio station now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
They're having to fund their own radio station. So if you want to hear that type of information going out, somebody that's talking directly to you, not talking over your head, or as I accuse national radio stations of, most of them come out of the East Coast and they talking to the people on the East Coast. Well, TSU talking to you right here, the conversations that they're having, but they need funding too. They need funding to stay on the air.
PBS had the whole thing about, Louis Gate Jr. and being able to trace your roots and ancestry and this like stuff. Like Trump don't like that. NPR radio, man, I used to. This is how you know that I would qualify as people call it a nerd or whatever. I used to listen to NPR radio just like I listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
Had all type of interviews, all type of historical stuff, all type of documentaries of real life things going on that people just under the radar, because good news don't go on to national news. Bad news go.
Our news never gets told until it's too late, and then they want to make they want to stand up and say something. Mary Guillory, let's go all in roll call. Absolutely, we have to go all the way in, and if we can't go all the way in, we're as a whole. I'm talking about satellite radio and all the rest of that. If we're not committed to this whole thing, if we're not talking about Texas, if they're not talking about Texas on a national level or on the internet radio and everywhere else and what's going on right here, and telling them this is what you need to say, this is coming to your state. This is what happens when you don't get out and vote. This is what happens. And when it happens, you have to be ready for it. Don't wait till midterm elections and start talking about it. Don't wait till midterm elections and saying, well, this is what we need to do, or we're no better than the Democratic Party has did us for years. They wait till the last minute and say, wait till the last minute. They say, you vote for this person, or your vote don't count.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bunch of crap.
Oh, yes, sir.
Go ahead, Pastor. I'm sorry.
Hey, yeah. Say, throw the PowerPoint up there.
Oh, you ready to get into that? Can we get it? Okay.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into it right here. Me and Pastor are right here. Texas redistricting. Understanding redistricting. We went through that. We got Texas redistricting case study. We got implications of future outlook. We're gonna go through this pretty fast. If y'all out there, we always like to, Pastor, you know how I like to do it. When you see something you want to comment on, let's just talk, and I'm on what you call it.
Yes, sir.
Understanding redistricting. The definition of redistricting. Redistricting is the process of redrawing electoral districts' boundaries, typically conducted every 10 years following the census to reflect the population. I know you want to comment on that.
Well, see, that's what I say. This was something long before. See, Trump is hijacking the process. It's been there a long time. Because you have to understand that when the government was formed, the bicameral, meaning two houses, you always had 2 senators for every state. But the House of Representatives is based on population. So at first you only had 13 states. But as the Ohio River Valley then you had other states that came in. And then it began to go manifest destiny, which means we're going all the way to the east, to the west coast. We're going from sea to shining sea. Other states came in. So as other states came in, that means more people became citizens. I mean, you got every 10 years, but to look at each state by the census. So you don't just come around knocking on your door for the census to see how many people in your house. See if y'all want milk or cheese or something. They're not coming around for that. They're not coming around to see if you got how many men versus women, how many 10-year-olds versus 80-year-olds. That's not what they come around for. They come around to count the population in every area. I don't open that door. No one didn't count who's in my house. I want the government over here. Open the door. Because we need everybody in your district to be counted for so they know how many representatives you need. So every 10 years, they redistrict based on population. But people like Trump and people that want to gerrymander hijack the process. 2020 was the last time they did a census. When you supposed to do it again? 2030. But he wants to jump to 2025, 5 years, and do it for the 2026 election. Because 2030 is past the 2028 election. You see what I'm saying?
And see, Pastor, that's the reason why we need to educate them on gerrymandering, because this thing is not supposed to take place but every 10 years, because they use the guidelines to manipulate the map. But this particular time, he's manipulating the maps outside of everything they're saying. Mary Guillory, I agree with you. Chickens coming in to roost. All in roll call. I agree with you on that. Let me go to the next slide. Not next slide, but the next one. Legal and constitutional. It's mandatory by the U.S. Constitution to ensure equal representation, but can be influenced by bipartisan interests within legal limits. We're not saying that gerrymandering is wrong. We're just saying that it has a cycle in which it has to run. The previous statement said 10 years.
No. Let me stop.
Go ahead. Correct me, Pastor.
We're not saying redistricting is wrong.
No, we're not.
But gerrymandering is wrong.
Correct.
Let's get it straight. See, you read the word bipartisan. If it's bipartisan, it's redistricting.
Yep.
If one party is trying to take advantage of another party, it's gerrymandering.
Absolutely.
Let me say it right.
And that's what's going on right now in the state of Texas.
Right.
One party is trying to take advantage of them having control of the government and having they starting in a Republican state where they know they can get away with it. But trust me, it's coming. It's coming. It keeps moving. Open the doors for census every 10 years. I agree with you there.
Yes. Look at the deal. This is the deal. And the reason why you know it's gerrymandering, because you don't draw the lines or develop the districts with people living by each other like it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
They go and find a way to draw crazy looking objects to go around, to go backwards, to go above or go under certain population groups to make up a district.
And then they wonder how come people are disenfranchised with voting. I'm gonna go on, Pastor, because I looked at the time. I'm glad you got me started on this, because I went through it. Frequencies and impact occurs every 10 years after the census significantly reshapes the political landscapes and affects who represents the communities. We're gonna go to the next slide because we've been talking about this one. Number one, representation and fairness. Fair maps ensure every vote carries an equal weight, guarding against disenfranchisement. That's the same thing that we've been saying. And Pastor, I don't know if you want to go back into it, but if you think that's clear, we're going to go to the next one.
One person, one vote.
Got you.
One person, one vote.
Got you.
Go ahead.
Partisan advantages in gerrymandering. Gerrymandering uses a map drawn for partisan gain, distorting voter preference. You want to go there, Pastor? Or you want me to go on?
That's what I was saying when they draw these crazy looking districts that's not even by how people live by each other. They might start up in near Tomball, go straight line down by Beltway 8, come and make an L and go back towards 290 and call it a district.
Mm-hmm. They did it before. I gave back examples.
Right, because what they're looking at is who they think live there. If they live as predominant Anglo-American upper class people might live in all those neighborhoods, they're gonna call it a district. And then try to replace that district, another district that will be predominant African American, so the African Americans will have to try to vote in that district, will be outnumbered by the people living in that district.
Yeah, and here's the reason why we do this PowerPoint. We don't follow it to the T, but we want to make sure that we put some good information out for you to go back and research on your own. So we're gonna go to number 3, long-term political consequences. Sets the stage for future elections. Strategic redistricting can solidify advantages for a party or create new opportunities. So So they can basically, you have an incumbent that's in office right now, and they can come in and in the next election, they may not be able to run for the same office that they're in. Their office is gone. Jasmine Crockett is a typical example of them coming in, doing it. Mary, I'm going to get you a comment up right now. Then we're going to go to the next slide. Population census every 10 years. Pastor, can you read that? Because my slider thing is in the way.
Population census every 10 years equals one person, one vote, replacing voter rights. But here's the deal, though. I want to correct on that.
Go ahead.
This is what we need. We need one person, one vote. But what happens is that's every 10 years the census is right. But if you don't use the information that comes in the census, you then take away the voter's right. If the census says that in this area there are 20,000 African Americans and we need to put a district there, but you want to skirt around those 20,000 African American voters and try to find you 30,000 Anglo Americans that outnumber them, you then drop a crazy district that will swallow up that 20,000 African Americans. So then, even though it's one person, one vote, you don't have enough votes because you've now diluted the voting pool because you've made a bogus district. You need the census to get the numbers right. But when they look at the census and try to figure out, because in the census, it tells you demographics. It tells you whether you're Hispanic or non-Hispanic. Tell you whether you Black or Asian or Anglo-American. When they look at that information from the census, that's when they take that to try to determine what areas can we front load a district out of to get what we want.
Absolutely, and we're gonna we're gonna go back to the slides. I'm gonna hide your comment because I can't see without. But using Texas redistricting, using Texas, and the only reason why I'm focusing on this is because of what I told you about what I've been saying. If you don't jump on board now, it's gonna be coming to you eventually. Mm-hmm. This is just in Texas right now, and in Austin. Now, I want to do this way. District realignment in Austin. District 37 expanded while District 35 was absorbed. It went away. Yeah. That means that District 35 ain't gonna have no representation because it's going away with you.
Right. Those people will now be sucked into District 37, and so somebody in District 37 of a different party will win and act like he's representing those that was in 35, but he's not really.
Yeah. So it's weakening the Democratic voter influence. We're going to go to the Dallas-Fort Worth. This is Jasmine Crockett's area. District 32 and 33 merged with District 32 extension into rural areas, changing the demographics. So you know that the demographics are in rural areas is more Republicans. So you change the map to put more to run into those rural areas to offset where the map currently is. And that's something that's what gerrymandering is all about.
Now, the only way you can beat gerrymandering within gerrymandering is to have a higher vote turnout of those people who are being disenfranchised. Let me say it again.
Yeah.
Let's say if you run into the rural areas and you're trying to absorb the inner cities, and then when you go out to vote, only 30%, sometimes 20% of people who register to vote actually vote. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you're running out there to the rural areas, but of course you got MAGA pumping them up to go vote. What they're hoping is that those in the inner city don't go vote or try to deny them all kinds of stuff about voter ID, all this kind of crazy stuff, give them trouble at the polls. But if the raw numbers are there, actually District 35 has still got more people than District 37. Originally, we then got to work that much harder to get them to go out to vote to overcome the gerrymandering. And that's what the problem is. It's hard to get people to go out to vote.
Yeah. The Houston district shift. Houston's Democratic districts are moving eastward, potentially weakening the Democrats' incumbents. Yeah. The people that's already in office.
Sheila Jackson Lee there for 32 years.
Yeah.
And now you want to take that away.
And as I had Sheila Jackson Lee up earlier. That's Barbara Jordan's old district.
Yeah. So you talking about all the way back to the 1960s.
Yeah. and they want to change it.
Barbara Jordan was rocking things over there.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, she put up a vote for Shirley Chisholm. Remember that?
Yeah.
For president of the United States. So you talking about a district historically, Acres Home, parts of City Gas and North Forest, parts of 3rd Ward, all that stuff. Al Green, parts of 4th and 3rd Ward. They want to take from us what belongs to us.
But Al Green was a judge in Houston. I don't think people remember that he was a judge in Houston before he ever ran for any congressional seat.
Yeah. And don't be confused. We're not talking about the Al Green that sings.
Yeah, not Al Green, the singer. We talking about. Thank you, Pastor. Austin jurisdiction expands and absorbs 35. I want to see if this District 37 experienced considerable expansion. The expansion altered the district's voter base. So it changed the voter base based on the way that they changed the district in District 37 in Austin. District 35 was absorbed into District 37, into District 27. That means that district ain't no longer exists. The merger potentially dilutes the Democratic voters' influence on the vote and how people stay in office. They're basically just getting people out of office. That's one seat right there. Am I right, Pastor?
Yes, sir. See,
so we're gonna move on through this because we're trying to get through it. I'm glad Pastor brought it up. Dallas Fort Worth.
One more thing. Gerrymandering started 1800s. It was about the have and have nots.
Okay.
Gerrymandering today is about racism.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, keep going.
Dallas Fort Worth districts 32 and 33 merger impact analysis. District merger overview. District 32 and 33 in the Dallas Fort Worth area have been merged into a single district. Somebody gone.
Mm-hmm.
The merger alters voter demographics within the affected districts. We already know that. The newly formed District 32 now extends into previously rural areas. So they turn it into rural areas. Same person. We must be going back, Pastor. We must be back in our blog talk days because we having people come on here trying to disrupt the show. We must be doing something impactful.
The guy that came 2 weeks ago trying to come back on us.
Yeah. Impact on incumbents. The changes are expected to have an impact on current office holders. Yeah, it's going to have an impact. You deleted one seat, you merged another one into another district, and that's the Dallas Fort Worth area. So you're losing people based on gerrymandering, not what's the word? Redistricting.
Redistricting, right? Nothing wrong with redistricting. That's legal. That's every 10 years. It's part of the system. Gerrymandering is using redistricting for the wrong reason.
Absolutely.
If you get anything out of this tonight, nothing wrong with redistricting. It's supposed to happen every 10 years. But it's not 2030 yet. It's not 2030. So gerrymandering is to use the redistricting process for the wrong reasons. And Trump wants it so he can hold power.
Yeah, and Houston Democratic District and they're doing the eastward shift. And I'll show you the map after we get through going through this. We're almost through with this. Houston map changes indicate a strategic shift pushing Democratic districts eastward. Potential for awakening of incumbents. This shift may weaken Pastor.
Mm-hmm. Hey, BG in the house. I'm over here looking like Stevie Wonder. He over there looking like what's that guy? Hey-oh. What's his name? They like to come in. What I'm talking about? What was that guy that sing that?
I don't know who it is, Pastor.
Halle Belafonte. He back over there blowing the cigar smoke like Halle Belafonte or something.
Hey man, I'm just
come on in, Glass.
I'm just celebrating my birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
You know what, brother? I saw that and I was supposed to call you, man.
Happy birthday, my brother. I didn't even know it, Pastor.
Now you're gonna get the business.
You and my auntie's birthday. Well, yeah. No.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to
to you.
Happy
Happy birthday to
you.
you.
You messing me up, Ron. You messing me up,
Daylight
man.
coming and I gotta go home.
You gotta
Hey,
have you gotta have the tune, man.
hey,
Happy
Ron.
birthday to
Hey,
you.
I didn't say I could
Happy
sing.
birthday to
Hey,
you.
to you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, that's who it is. Mary Guillory told us who it was. Harry
I told you
Belafonte.
it's Harry Belafonte. I said it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Ron.
Glass.
But no, on a serious note, man, it's getting serious. Remember, I told you that if we don't get it in 2026, see, they know that. They know if we get it, we stop everything, the movement.
Mm-hmm.
But they also know if they get it, it's over with for us. So what Texas is doing is you know, it's not. I can't even give a definition for it. I'm glad that California and New York and some of these other places from the blue states are stepping up and saying, okay, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. But Pastor, my concern is I don't really know what it is that we can do to get people that should be voting, need to be voting, need to be registered to vote, to get them to realize that the basic things that you have had for the last 40, 50, 60 years, they're about to be taken away.
They don't believe it.
Yeah.
See, this is the whole thing about being a prophet. And when I say this, I'm not trying to become sacrilegious, but I'm telling you the truth. Like when the prophet is warning, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, it's gonna happen. They don't believe it. Same thing about politics. We it's like we're crying into the wind and we're screaming and hollering. Look, it's gonna happen. No, man. Y'all over exaggerating. Y'all making up stuff. Y'all know what y'all talking about. Yeah. And then when it happens, ooh, where my Medicaid? Ooh, where my food stamps? Ooh, where my rights? Ooh, why they trying to take my job from me? Ooh, where's DEI? See, we kept hollering about vote for Kamala Harris. The whole Kamala Harris campaign was that she was DEI. Mm-hmm. Her daddy from Jamaica, her mama from India. She a black girl that's part of the Divine Nine. First black woman in the White House. We gonna stamp out the DEI. And when she lost, guess what they did? They took out DEI.
Mm-hmm. But Pastor and Glass, I want to know if you remember this statement being made. If she can't run for governor and she can't be VP, she's gonna write a book.
Mm-hmm.
What's she doing? What's she doing right now?
Yeah.
Releasing a book.
Right.
But you know what I believe she's gonna do, though? You know what I believe, Ron? You know what I believe, huh?
Go ahead.
I believe that she's just this kind of sister. How many times did Biden run before he won president? I believe she's gonna go for it one more time. She not gonna
Rick,
No.
You know, I think and I could be wrong, this is just my thinking. Sometimes it's not your time, and then other times it's not your place, period. I don't think that this particular place where we live right now is ready for that. We are, but those that are in control, I just wouldn't want her to cause herself more harm. Now, should she do it? You know, that's on her. But what I will tell you again, Ron and Riggins, is that still today, who's the front runner for the party?
Nobody. Wait. Pastor
Riggins. Baron, who is the front runner?
I'm gonna do this real quick.
I want to ask Baron, who's the front runner?
I don't see nobody.
That's the same thing that we sit at that table and they say my brother said this last night. He said, y'all don't have anybody. There ain't nobody out there. But Glass, here's who I want to run past you. I want to do away with this PowerPoint. I'm gonna let this go, Pastor. Because
let it go.
I want to remove this from the stage because there's some things that we need to discuss now. We got BG in the building. Okay. But this is something that my brother said. We have to save the Democratic Party. I don't care what it takes. We have to save the Democratic Party. We may not have to save the people within the party right now, but we have to save the Democratic Party or else we're doomed.
Ron, but here's my question to that. Is the Democratic Party willing to be saved?
Point well taken.
And the reason why I say that is because they still have the old heads, the old guards, still trying to call the shots. It's just like me, okay? I know that it's time for me to relinquish my spot and let somebody else come in. Why? Because I'm 57, Pastor. What's going on now is for 20 and 30-year-olds. I don't know what they want. I don't know what they like. I don't even know what they are involved in. So for me to stay there is only selfish. What I'm saying is Pelosi and all them other people, it's time to kick rocks, in my opinion.
That's what I said earlier. Didn't I say that, Ron?
Yeah. And
I
that's
named everybody that should be there that they don't have there.
and they won't give them a voice. They'll go behind the clothes. Go ahead, Pastor. I'm sorry.
They should have Joshua Spiro, Jasmine Crockett. They should have AOC. They should have Jabari Sellers, even Van Johnson. They should have all them kind of people calling shots. Not the ones that have up there. Akeem Jefferson's, he younger, but he bought into the whole system.
He bought into the system. Go ahead, Glass. I see you reading it. You might as well read it out loud.
Well, Ms. Guillory says, I believe she is going to fight for our rights, and she will run from an outsider candidate, Go Harris. I think that's a good thought process, but remember, politics is strategic. It's strategy. That's the thing, Ron. This has nothing to do with Ms. Guillory or anybody else, but most people, Riggins know, most people don't understand the dynamics that goes with politics. Number one, you have to have a solidified base that's rock solid. Okay. And then you have to have, outside of that, you have to have those donors. Jasmine Crockett is probably varied, whatever. But what people are saying within her own party is that they try to stay away from because she's whatever. But see, we haven't identified the fact that when we're talking, it's passion. When they talk, they think when we're talking that it's anger or whatever the case may be. We let other people define what it is that we should be defining ourselves, in my opinion.
Right.
Go ahead, Pastor.
In other words, we get all excited and doing what we're doing. We're trying to get people motivated. Other people look at us and saying, "Look, we just stirring up mess."
Right.
And that's a misunderstanding. Go ahead,
yeah.
Ron.
But Glass, you brought up a good point. Her biggest enemy is going to be her own party.
Right.
It ain't got nothing to do with the Republicans. Because if the Democrats don't get behind her and think that she can do anything, they're going to shut her down. Yeah. They give lip. They're going to say that she just makes a good speech. But we're going to put the guy that we want. We want to go back and get on our railroad tracks again, where the money's starting to come back to us. And she may not agree with that. I'm gonna bring Ms. Guillory's comment up in just a minute. So that's what this is about. Mm-hmm. That's what this is about.
And Ron, remember a week or so ago, Riggins, when they had Crockett who called in and tried to stop somewhat of a type interview or whatever. I forget the gist of it. But when they started interviewing some of her own colleagues, they were afraid to attach themselves with her. Mm-hmm. See, we are too much of a coward. But you see what them other people doing, no matter how crazy and outlandish this person is. Guess what they're doing, Riggins? They're attaching themselves to him. Because we don't have I can't say we because I'm not a Democrat. They don't have a solidified base anymore. It's disruptive. It's de-scrambled. It's non-functioning, Riggins. Again, because if that was the case, remember, some people wanted to stay away from Harris until it got to the point where they didn't have nobody else to choose, and some of them didn't choose.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't forget this part of it. While we talking about this, Glass, I'm gonna let you read that, but then I'm gonna make my comment.
She says, also go Harris and write your book. I'll buy it. But again, she has the right to write the book. But the question is, what does the book do to motivate and push people to go out? Because we got too many, Ron, that just will not go and get the real ID. We're dealing with it now. The redistricting that's going to go on in Louisiana with Senator Cleo Fields.
Wait. Hold up. Now, me and Pastor Regan's been talking about this redistricting all night. Mm-hmm. What have we been saying? it's gonna come to a state near you.
Yeah.
And what you saying, Byron?
Yeah. And here's the deal, Riggins. He just said today that Texas owe him 5 representatives. See, this man feels like everybody owes him something. What we should do is we owe him something. We owe him to get his ass out of there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, let me tell you something. Man, this thing is so crazy. Till while we sleeping, when I say we as a country, that's why you gotta wake up.
Yeah.
While we sleeping, the devil work all night long.
Mm.
And when I say what I mean is they're always scheming. Always scheming.
Well, he tweeting at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
You're right.
So you know he up. The devil.
Yeah.
Byron Glass.
Yes, sir.
I sit there and looked at my brother last night. And he said that I know what she's saying. You need to read it.
Hey, Miss Guillory, thank you. It means a lot for anybody at this age, still young, but been out there a long time. Riggins, I think you can attest, Ron can attest, when somebody tell you happy birthday, that's a blessing, because many people are not living to see these days. So thank you, Miss Guillory, and thank you for always supporting us. This is one of the latest. Ron, I know every time I've been on, she's on supporting us. She's here. So that tells us that what we're doing is something that, it entices her. She wants to be involved. We welcome her to email us. We welcome her to reach out to us. If there's a topic of her choice, something that she would like to talk about, feel free to come on at any point in time. And Ron, I noticed that the 832 number is not up there, but nevertheless, no. Let's because this is important. I think we need to talk about this. Like Pastor Riggins go through the book of Proverbs. We need to do this, and we need to bring some people on.
Absolutely, because let me tell you what my brother said, and the only person I thought about when he said this, he said, Ron, he said Ronnie. I'm gonna tell you what he said. He said, Ronnie, he said, I'm gonna tell you, this guy is closest to the Antichrist as it can be.
I'm telling you, I've been telling you that all the while.
I knew you was gonna jump on now.
Hey, Rick, it's one thing that I know. I can read, and I made A's in English when the teacher told me, Baron, just try one time. So I can comprehend. Listen, the Bible tells you specifically what Lucifer is, what Satan is, right? Mm-hmm. This man got every characteristic of. When you tell me that there's nothing that you have done to where you need to ask for forgiveness, man, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Come on, Riggins, you in the pit.
Wait, Rick, Pastor Riggins, before you come on, what was one of the first things that they said in the Bible was going to happen about Jerusalem? What did Trump do?
Peace, there won't be no peace. And then it says it's going to be an abomination of desolation. And that whole concept that started in 1948, and Trump is behind, is now pushing for all that. He wanted to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel, and Tel Aviv is. Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I know he agreed with the statement that he made, Pastor and Baron Glass, but he said, you know what? Say, I'm not in a position to say that he's the Antichrist, but his actions show dictating that he's close to it. His actions.
Yeah, let me be theologically sound with your guys. The Antichrist itself is a spirit against Christ, against the anointed. It's a spiritual thing. But for this conversation, a person who demonstrates that they're against everything God does is likened unto an Antichrist. I will not call Trump an Antichrist, because Antichrist is because even when John says, and that spirit already appeared back then, anything is against the anointing of God. Mm-hmm. You walk in and say you represent God's church, the evangelical church of America, and say that they're on your side, but everything you do is not by the Bible, that's Antichrist. You don't want to feed the poor, Antichrist. Don't want to take care of children, Antichrist. Want to take away Medicaid, Antichrist. You against everything, because you said you do the least of these, you did unto me. So I'm not going to call him and say that he's like the Antichrist by Jesus about to come back, but all of his actions are Antichrist. That makes sense?
Here's what I'll say. real simple. It says that the devil, and I'm adding this, the devil is the author of confusion, right? Name
God
one
is not
thing.
the author of confusion, right? The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy.
Name one thing that he's not been the author of confusion on since he's come on the scene.
Yes, sir.
Name one thing. So again, we are given the ability to make spiritual judgments.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, all I'm saying is that the definition, like he has the ability to call Charlemagne the god of racist or sleazebag or whatever when he's never met him. But at the same time, if somebody called him something, no, man. Again, the author of confusion is what I look at, and until that changes, he's the devil to me.
Oh yeah, he's the devil. Oh yeah, he's doing crazy stuff that's devilish, stuff that is wrong, stuff that is that not represent God. But I just want to say, just for clarification, no one person is the Antichrist, but he's likened to one who's Antichrist. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But he's demonic, and I mean he's doing demonic stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to see him in hell. I can't do that. I can't see somebody in hell. What he's doing is wrong. Yeah, but all you're doing in the name of religion.
Yeah, all you're doing is clarifying, and that's good, because remember, if we can't enlighten and inform, then we're not doing our job. So clarity is always good when you bring it to the base. I think Ms. Giller has got a comment out there. She also said separation of families, Pastor.
Right, yeah.
Who would do that?
Trump is doing right.
If you're born in this country, you are a natural birth citizen. This man is saying that you're not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because you're not white. If you're not white, you're not right.
You're
not white. You're not right. That's just basically it. His daddy was a KKK, 1927, arrested in New York.
Can I ask you a question? And this is along these same lines. Have you ever went to a Home Depot and not seen people out there willing to work?
Well, look what he just said earlier, Pastor, a couple of hours ago, where these people are born to work in the fields. They have strong backs. Have you seen the latest comment?
Who he said, the blacks or Hispanics?
You're talking about Hispanic immigrants.
That's a shame.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, you ain't
got to notice the Home Depot. You don't see the people out there no more.
Yeah, no. We went there today.
I went to Home Depot on Sunday. I didn't see nobody out there no more. You know why?
Nobody.
Because the Iceman coming. The Iceman coming.
Hold on. You ain't got to take my word. Just go out there and research it yourself. Try Mr. Google. It'll tell you.
Absolutely.
The Iceman coming. They're not out there no more because they don't want ICE to pick them up.
And
I drive up there and say, two, four. My brother used to go pick up people to go work for him. You can't find them no more.
Let me tell you this. I got a friend of mine that's from Alexandria, Louisiana, who was born here, that's a citizen. But because she's light complexion, 70-some years old, and got the last name of Hispanic, she won't even go and travel with her significant other, who was a dark-skinned black male. They was going to a golfing tournament somewhere upstate. You know what she did? She didn't even go on a golfing trip because she didn't want to subject herself to something that may happen to where she's sent somewhere that she don't know where she's at and never return. That's how crazy we are now.
Right. She don't want to go down the alligator.
Exactly.
Because they take you away, and then you have to prove that you are a U.S. citizen. But look at what you done suffered. You probably lost a job. You lost your family can't get in touch with you. Then they want to release you, and then you're supposed to be the same person that you left because you lost everything by being put away. That's crazy.
Let me tell y'all something, man. I teach history. In the 1930s, this is what Hitler was doing all across Europe. You go out there and they would take the Jews and make them put a star on them when they go to school and when they go to work. And at any good time, they might come to do a sweep and pick you up. Mm-hmm. If you look like you was a Jew, you had to prove he wasn't a Jew. Mm-hmm. It was making those guys shave their beards because the Jews like to keep the beard. This same concept is what they're using now. Mm-hmm. In plain sight. In plain sight. And right now it's Hispanics. If we lose in 2026,
thank you, Pastor.
2028, it's gonna be you and I.
I'm gonna use glasses.
I'm a light-skinned brother. They might think I'm from Puerto Rico or something.
Come on, Riggins.
I'm a Dominican Republican. And I'm half Creole.
Come on, Riggins.
I go live in Canada, brother, if I have to. But I ain't gonna run for him though. I'm not gonna run from him. I'm glad I stay prayed up because every now and then I get thoughts in my mind that's not no good thoughts.
Hey, Riggins, but see, the good thing, I mean, not the good thing about that, but the thing about that is that many people fall in that same category because these are perilous times, but you know, perilous times have seasons. So just because it's a perilous time right now, we feel it doesn't mean that the end of the world. That doesn't what it mean. That's not what it means. But what it does mean is that if the American Negro don't do something to change the trajectory in 2026, it's over with. Mm-hmm. You can mark my word on that.
Hey, Glass, I need you to do something for me real quick while you got the floor. What's our thing? What's our thing? If we what's our mission to reach?
Oh, if we can just reach one.
Mm-hmm.
If we can just reach one. Yeah, right now we're looking at about 9:11 p.m. Central Standard Time. You listen to two gents and a mic, Pastor A.F. Riggins and Ron Spikes out of Houston, Texas. We're talking tonight about the gerrymandering drawn districts, specifically Texas. But if you notice, some of these other places are trying to kick in. And Riggins, the man was so stupid today. He said, "I just need 5."
Right. Because
I just need 5.
Right now he knows that they got the Congress House Representative by 9, right?
Right.
And so he thinks that, hey, listen, if I can pad, because he already tried to calculate how many he might lose, and if he can just get 5, and then it's hard to change 5 people, just like in the Senate right now. They already got to change 4 people, and then all of a sudden, what's his name come and break a tie every time? Oh, J.D. Vance.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I believe that he's gonna lose.
I'm not gonna say you're gonna lose. What I'm gonna say is this: if we don't show up for midterm elections, it's y'all might as well get ready for it.
Well, but look here, people gonna show up because it's hitting their pocketbooks.
But it ain't gonna hit their pocketbook till after the midterm election.
No, price of beef is up right now. Only 748 jobs was added in July. That's why he fired the woman. But it's a train wreck coming.
But remember, he's setting up everything to go the way he wanted. So the devil is going to be in disguise until we us people see what the actual facts are. They didn't go out and vote for Harris when they should have. Okay,
I think they did, but they cheated. There was a point that came late earlier. Remember, I was talking about the ones that they want to support is they support.
But here's the deal:
Biden would have ran and Biden would have lost and cheated. They'd investigate it.
But see,
Harris lost and they cheated. They didn't want to investigate it. They didn't want to investigate it.
Let me. I got a question for both of y'all. What do y'all think the mail-in votes account for?
What do you mean? What they account?
30%.
So if I can manipulate the mail-in votes by not even counting them, provisional voting. Glass, do you know? Can you explain provisional voting?
Well, it's whenever you go to vote. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Riggins. Go ahead.
You go to vote and you show up. You might not have your ID, or maybe your ID doesn't match your current living address. Mm-hmm. Or something might be in question.
Right.
So they're gonna let you vote anyway and hold that vote to add it later. Provisional vote.
If I didn't learn this till last night.
You didn't know about provisional vote, brother?
Ron, think about it. Think about it.
Lord have mercy.
Hold on, Riggins on. But see, that's the point. Remember, politics is a depth of everything that you dealt with. So my point is this: is that if Ron didn't know it, guess how many other people that's less than here.
But here's the thing that my brother shared with me last night. He said a provisional vote only counts if there's a tie or something like that in the election. Then they bring in the provisional votes. But if it's not a tie or anything like that, and they didn't already won, those provisional votes don't get counted.
That's right. If they when they do that thing of projection and say so and so can't catch up.
Say wait, Pastor. I want you to make sure people understand that part.
Okay, so on the night of the election, or even the next day, they're still counting. When all of a sudden they say it's going to be 51%, because you can't win 50-50. It's got to be 51 to 49, 52 to 48.
Right.
When they start seeing that one person, that no other votes that was given that's supposed to be vote for vote can catch up, they'll call that race.
Mm-hmm.
Once they call that race, provision votes is out the door.
Right.
Maybe a Glass, break it down so they can understand it, because maybe some people ain't getting it.
Well,
and Pastor Reagan said it his way. I need you to say it your way.
I think Riggins are saying you have a right to vote, but they ain't telling you that you have a right that your vote be counted.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, and that's what we're trying to tell you about. That's what my brother educated me on last night. And like you said, Glass, it may be a whole bunch of people out there, because if you standing in that line and they close down the polls and they give you and they take your provisional vote, it ain't gonna make a difference if that other person is ahead.
Right, but
provisional vote.
You fixed that, Ron.
We need to been talking about this a long time. I didn't know. To see when I guess because I study so much and I've been teach civics and all this stuff, I be thinking that a lot of times people know what I know, and that's sad.
Right, but
that people don't even know that.
The problem
Absolutely.
is the problem is that, like you said months ago. All right, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Like you said, is that if we vote in outlandish numbers, we defeat their process. But see, they know we're not going to vote. In other words, put us 20, 30,000 ahead. They can't come back and do nothing.
Right.
But see, Ron, unless you get some peas, some okra, some tomatoes, some watermelons, some cabbage, some people just not going to vote. And we owe it to our people that came long before us to get up and get out and fight for our right to continue to vote.
But the reason why I keep bringing this stuff up is because we need to understand the process in which they can cheat. And I brought this up to my brother because this is what it boiled down to. Military guys that's outside of the country vote ballots. They mail in ballots for their vote. Mm-hmm. Now, what if this it's not count? What if it doesn't make it there and it doesn't get counted? They can manipulate. Pastor Riggins, you said they can manipulate, but here's where it gets scary. Go back and see where the biggest jump in votes happened over the just over the term. They say it was the largest amount of voters that came out of nowhere. I see you, Glass, but anyway, it was the largest amount of voters that came out of nowhere. That's something where we need to go back. And I haven't had a chance to research it, but I want to research it. But we need to look at that, because somewhere down the election, my brother brought it up, and I don't want to put it out there. And I know we need to get off this so Glass can celebrate his birthday, because he's gonna give us deuces soon. But this is also so important. This is the longest show that we have ever done. Go ahead, Pastor.
Also, where's the largest deficit of votes?
You brought it up before.
Places where the Democrats won the whole district and Kamala lost. It's not where they jumped at, it's where they stripped it from us. They went in there and they purged the rolls. They went in there and threw out votes. They went in and did a lot of crazy stuff. At the end of having less people voting in 2024, they voted in 2020 in the middle of a pandemic.
And Ron, think about this. Think about this. In 90 days, this lady raised $1 billion for a campaign. $1 billion for her campaign. 90 days. 90 days. Money ain't everything. It's the only thing that can win an election. And here's the deal. Think about it. When you go vote, they give you a card or a number or something, right?
Hmm?
Do you think that them people can't look in that machine and look at this number and see how A.F. Reagan voted? Man, people know how you vote.
Yeah.
That's been a lie that we've been told for since we've been born.
Yeah.
Do you think they're not going to rig the system when they didn't want us to vote anyway?
In other words, in the ballot, it's secret ballot, right? In the voting booth, the secret voting booth. Nobody can watch you in the voting booth. When you come out of there, they watch you.
Yeah.
Let me say it again. When you in there voting, you by yourself. Nobody can't see, just you and that screen. But once you send the vote, then they watch you.
Yeah.
Why you think you get all the text and email for you to raise money? Because they know how you voted.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you know what? She raised $1 billion. But here's the thing that gets me. Out of that $1 billion that she raised, she had to pay three point something to get somebody to come out and get on the stage for her.
But see, has that been validated? Because Beyonce said
you know me, I'll validate it.
No, man. What I'm trying to say, man.
Oh, I understand what you're trying to say, but Pastor, I'm trying. The real reason why I bring that up is because I get an email in my box every day for her to raise $1 billion, and they hit me up every day after the election, and she ain't even in office no more, and they still trying to hit me up for money.
They're trying to what they're trying to hit you up for is what you fussing about. They want the Democratic Party to be loaded with money, but they don't know what to do with their money.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the DC, the DNC is for the DCC, the Democratic Committee.
Democratic Central Committee.
Right. They want to raise the money for the party. The problem of it is they ain't got the right people running the party.
And then they don't want to put money behind people that they don't want. And I'm gonna call her name, Jasmine Crockett. If she don't get out there and make enough noise, they ain't gonna put no money behind her in her own party.
Yeah. No, she's making too much noise for them. That's the problem. Her and AOC.
Yeah, they want to quiet her down. So what they do is they've influenced her position by money. I hear you. I see you shaking your head, Glad. This is the longest show we never did. So we're gonna be out of here in just a few. But Glad, go ahead and make your comment, Pastor Reagan. And then this is so important that we need to. This is where we need this to go out in the media.
But here's the deal, Ron. In the state of Louisiana, you're either a Republican, a Democrat, or no party. There's no more independent.
I did see that.
They just the law. I don't know if it went into effect August the 1st or it goes in effect January. But when is it, Lord? Yeah. When is it?
September 1st, probably.
August the 1st. Yeah. So me as an independent, I either got to be no party, Republican, or Democrat.
So you can't vote in the primary, but you can vote. But you can vote at the general election, though, right?
You can't. Yeah, you can't vote no more in primary because they have an open. I think it's open election. So again, what has happened, Riggins, in my opinion, is that when we got the opportunity to sit on the front of the bus, we gave up and gave in, and we thought everything was okay. When we still should have been fighting every step of the way up until now. It's too far gone. It's too late. We didn't teach the youngsters what we should have taught them. We didn't teach them nothing about the civil rights era. We didn't teach them nothing about history. Now all of a sudden, history being taken out, we want to grab and complain.
I'm gonna bring it home, and somebody might get upset. Rosa Parks sat on the front of the bus. This generation want to go on the back of the bus and smoke weed and play the boombox. Let me say it again. She fought to get on the front of the bus. All we want to do is get on the back of the bus, listen to cussing music, and dope up, and vape, and act a fool, and then think somebody owes us something. A lot of young black guys voted for Trump because he was a felon, because they got felonies, or the homeboy got felony. I'm telling you, that's my end. Trump my end because he could associate because he a felon. And he treat women like he showed them what to do. No, you fool.
Here's the other thing. Now, I'm gonna tie it back, so I'm gonna really make some people mad here. Y'all found out that y'all could go on cruises, and y'all get on them cruises and don't know how to act. So they was letting you on it, and you was spending good money. But now they telling you that because you don't know how to act, they changing the cruises because of your actions. Your actions.
Well, explain. We don't know what you're talking about, Ron.
Okay, the cruise ship line used to go out there and just have a big party playing rap music and all the rest of that, and black people was going out. The black people started getting in fights on the cruise ships. They was, when they get to the country where they at, they dropping them off on the shoreline because they don't know how to act. They're not carrying themselves well. It's so in on cruise, they basically go into the back of the bus, like you saying, and smoking their weed and they dope, and they don't think it's consequences to it. There's consequences to sitting on the back of that bus. There's consequences to getting on a cruise ship, going across, getting on that water, and you think that you run the doggone thing, and when you get there and they put you off, now you want to get on Facebook and everywhere else asking for money to get back home.
And see, Riggins, Jerron, here's my take on that. They can do all of that, but they also should be getting a rear end to go to vote, to register to vote. Do the other part of it. If you want to humpback, hoot your mama, whatever, that's fine. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But your other obligation is get out there and register to vote, to get other people to register to vote, to become knowledgeable about what's going on. Every time you don't vote, you are affected by what bill is passed, what amendment is added to. You are impacted. Like right now, Riggins, guess what? In this particular state, if you receive SNAP benefits as of January the 1st, you can't buy Cokes, chips, and all those other things. Come on, Ron.
They're doing the same thing in Texas. Doing the same thing in Texas.
Yeah.
Because all these Republican governors get together and discuss what they're going to do.
Yeah. And while we sitting here
talking about real issues.
Yeah. Worrying about whether Jasmine Crockett is too loud, worrying about whether AOC is too far to the left. Again, Ron, we have said this since the election of 2024 in November. No one has emerged to be the leader of the party. What are we waiting on? No. What are they waiting on? Because I'm not a Democrat. So what are they waiting on, Riggins?
Here's the other thing, Glass, and I'm gonna put this out there, and then Glass, you say you'll say, and then Pastor Reagan, please close us out. We jumping behind the guy that's in New York that won the primary Democratic Party nominee. Don't they know that he has to go through? There's going to be an election coming up that he has to go through the process because he won that primary. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to win the main election. We're happy that he did, but he still has to go through another election cycle. We get so excited behind small victories that we forget.
Well, but think
that
about
there's more to it.
Think about this though, Riggins. Cuomo was kicked out. Eric Adams was indicted. Instead of the people getting behind this other guy who has no indictment other than some of his issues, come on, man. They're no better than the Republican Party. No better.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know nothing about this guy. But what I do know, he's tackling some issues that other people are afraid of. Is he a little bit further than I am? Yes, he is. But is he further than this person that's in office? Absolutely not. Cuomo, it's time for you to go home. You're a disgrace. Eric Adams, you're a thug.
Yeah.
You can be bought, Eric Adams.
Money, there you go again. The money.
He already
talking about the money.
He already been bought.
Already been bought.
So the same thing that what I'm trying to say is that as black people, we got to get smarter. We're trying to help you get smarter. We're trying to get you to a point where every time you hear something, you're not running behind it and saying, "Oh, that's great." We want you to be educated. Come on, Glass.
They'll go behind and check what you say. They'll go behind and check what Riggins say. They'll go behind and check what I say. But you won't check what the other people's intents are. You know, at the end of the day, when the smoke is cleared and the dust is settled, like Ms. Guillory said, money ain't everything, it's the only thing. Eric Adams needs to sit down. They're a disgrace. Mario Cuomo needs to sit down. A disgrace. If this other guy is out there, from what I'm looking at and reading, he's garnered support from people that at one point misunderstood it. Hey, he bringing them in under that tent. So just because a person don't say, well, if they came and asked me and Riggins if we support a Palestine, hell, we're gonna say, yeah. What you gonna do? Call us whatever? We're not saying that we're against the other place, but I support these people throwing rocks at tanks and shit fighting. I support these people been occupying this land, and you want to come and take it away because you see the value of it. You starving people because you are supposed to be this place that the Bible. No, that ain't what the Bible's speaking of, and I don't agree with that. I disagree with it. I vehemently disagree with it.
Yeah, it's the abomination of desolation.
Exactly.
I would call it. But your theology is wrong. But
and this man talking about
OIL.
He telling Charlemagne God in the response that he done stopped 5 wars. Name the 5 wars.
Yeah, he's sitting there interviewing with Will Trump. I mean, I'm just totally lost. You're going to praise the host, which is somehow kin to you, a relative of yours, or married by marriage or something, and then you're going to sit there and criticize the person that she brought on. She brought him on.
The devil's desire is to sift you like wheat.
Well, that glass always go into the Bible like a deacon. But we already prayed for you.
Yeah, but here's the deal. All I'm doing is calling a spade a spade.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if this was Clinton, if this was Obama, if this was any other Democratic president, I would be saying the same thing. Because see, the letter don't dictate what I say.
The D or the R don't do it, right?
Yeah, but see, with them, because they are, well, in my opinion, you can be false and you can be misrepresented of what sound doctrine is. And the Jesus that I know, did you feed the hungry? Did you clothe the naked? Did you give the sight to the blind? Did you give water to the thirsty? Did you visit those that were in the rest homes? This man ain't doing none of that. Only when it's self-serving for him. At the end of the day, Ron, let me read Miss Gilliver's. Then we'll close.
And then give it to Pastor, and we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah, she said no cokes on Snap. Ear natural is better for the family. Well, here's the deal. I pay taxes just like anybody else. If they receive a SNAP benefits, Ron, and they want to go out and buy a Coke, just like I want to go and buy a Coke without being on SNAP benefits, hey, I don't have no problem with that.
She just said amen. I'm going to read it for you. Pastor?
Yes, sir.
Pastor? I know you're looking for something.
No, it's all right. We're almost there.
Okay, I'm gonna let you close this out. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say and close this out.
Yes, sir. Hey man, look here. Tonight we started out. I came in late, guys. I came in late and was not able to come at the beginning, but we're so glad that I was able to get in when I did get in. So tonight, I'm glad that we were able to address this gerrymandering. But it went from gerrymandering to what? It went from gerrymandering to everything else that we need to talk about, which means that we're dealing with real issues that a lot of people have not been dealing with for years. For years, we haven't dealt with voter representation. We haven't dealt with us standing up for our rights. We have not dealt with us being able to say, listen, as Baron Glass said, calling a spade a spade. They've been hiding behind money. The Democratic Party have been hiding behind voices and images that are not for real, and or don't have the best interest of us. But tonight, two gents of the mic, we have decided to make a stand verbally and passionately that we're not going to be the only ones to say, listen, not only is gerrymandering wrong, but you not getting out representing yourself is wrong. Not only is Trump doing all kinds of things that are not right, but if we in our own party don't stand up for what's right, we're all held accountable.
Hey, Rick, one other thing, Ron, I don't know if you guys showed it or not, but if not, we're going to make sure, note it, Ron, we're going to show it next week. Look at the map of Texas, the way the districts are drawn. The entire state of Texas is red, with the exception of a little spot that's down on the, I guess it would be maybe south. It's either southeast or southwest or south central. Go and look at the map. You're going to say, out of how big this place is, you mean to tell me that they don't want us to have our voice? Come on, man.
You know, is sitting at that table. I'm gonna tell you how deep the discussion went. If you look at the map, the blue areas represent a spider in most of those areas in most of the states. It's centralized in certain areas, and we need to get a voice in those cities. We need to get a voice in those cities. We need to get a voice in those states. It's so much that we have the ability to do. Past this all years. I know I could. I'm about to get on another soapbox.
I'm holding my neck back because my neck is hurting.
No, I said I'm about to get on. I didn't even see you.
Well, but here's the deal. What I'm saying is, I'm willing to go 3 or 4 hours on this because somehow we got to keep hammering this in and hit the nail until it goes deeper in the board. Because evidently, what other people are saying, it's not registering to people. You're still seeing people getting arrested. You're still seeing people with convicted felons. You're still seeing our young kids going to jail. You're still seeing them not going to school. You still see parents not doing their job. So, man, we still like the song with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. We still got our own issues that we have never worked out over 400 years ago.
Hey, guys, let's come back next week once again. And if we have to stay on gerrymander, if it's still there, there'll be a jumping point. But it always.
I think what we're gonna do the next week, Pastor, I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna come up with a way where we just have an open show because there's so much going on today that we can just talk to each other and we could come up and tell people and illustrate to people what's going on. I'm not gonna even do a PowerPoint. I'm not gonna do any of that. We're gonna have an open show, and if anybody else want to tell us where we should go, come on, Glass.
Hey, Miss Guillory, if you're out there listening, what I want to ask you to do is build up enough courage. Yes, we need our voices heard. Miss Guillory, we love you typing in, but if you don't want your face to be shown, we're going to give you a number to call in. We want to hear what you got to say because maybe some of the people that you are in a circle with will listen to what you're saying and they'll see that you got enough courage to get on and do whatever. Maybe because everyone we register to vote and tell them why they should vote and why 2026. Riggins, I think it's what do you call it? The final blow, the coup de grace. If and Ron, you know I've said this during the election, and I've been spot on. If we don't get it in 2026, what we now know as been equality for us, the same way ICE is going around getting some other people, I'm afraid to say we may be next. And that's not trying to scare somebody. I'm going off of what facts are. I'm going off of what I see, not what somebody told me, not what I heard. If you already trying to cut down the districts, well, if you're trying to cut down the district, that means you're trying to diminish my voice. Well, what's another way to diminish my voice? Take me somewhere else where I don't have a voice. You got to between the lines. Come on, Riggins.
Let's pray. Let's pray. All comments and everything. All comments have been read. All comments been read.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here tonight because we know your church is not within the 4 walls, but those of us who belong to you are your church wherever we go. And in this forum, we have 3 seasoned men who are trying to reach a community that we may impact our community, our city, and our world. As Baron Glad said early night, these are perilous times, but you're still good God. You're still in control, but faith without works is dead. Even though we believe in you, help us to do the work that must be done. Tell somebody, reach somebody, change somebody's mind. Do something that can rouse the people to be motivated to stand up for ourselves. We leave this platform, but not your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God. Here's what I'll say, and Pastor already prayed. If you're out there listening and you got the ability to make a difference, the only thing that I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, because we're not here trying to get paid. We're here trying to make a difference. What I'm going to ask you to do is invite somebody in just to listen. If they don't like it, they can turn us off and go to whatever they was doing. But if you can't listen, what happens is that we're going to repeat the same process. And I'm going to let Glass tell you what the repercussions of not listening and trying to educate yourself will do.
Well, Ron, not listening will give you, if you juxtapose what happened pre-60s versus what could happen now, you're going to be living some of the same times, in the same times, maybe in a different fashion of what your forefathers have told you that they went through. Get off the side of the concrete, boy. Stop looking at this, boy. Tell me why you should be able to vote, boy. Tell me this, tell me that. So whatever right, inalienable right that you have, they're steady being chipped away, chipped away, chipped away. And if you look at targeting Gayle King, if you look at targeting anybody that has a voice that's against their values and their beliefs, and they want to dismantle and eliminate you, well, once you exterminate a group, all you do is recreate something that's likened to what you stand for.
I'm going to call a couple of names, and then I'm going to end the show. Roland Martin was on the major channels. Tavis Smiley, and some of them destructed themselves. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Joy Reid. What's the guy that just lost the night show?
Stephen Colbert.
They're sending a message and they're sending it loud. Whether or not you accept it or not. Come midterms. Don Lemon, another one. They're falling by the wayside.
Anybody that had knowledge, that had the power to motivate the people. Look at Malcolm. Look at Martin. Look at Megder. Look at Mandela. All of those voices were silent. My thing is this. I'm not trying to motivate just black people. I'm trying to motivate anybody to get involved and make your own decision. And don't let the devil lead you off the cliff, because you can walk off the cliff yourself.
And we're going to save the Democratic Party. And I'm going to say amen, amen, amen. And thank God, thank God, thank God. Y'all deuce out.